against the vending machine industry, but some of you, we provided this to you, by the way. Some of you might want to read this too. This is a huge new booming market. Buy your new e-cigarette vending machines now. You're going to make tons of money because there's no regulation right now. So this is why I'm moving this bill forward. Is it comfortable for me to have my friends in opposition to this bill? No. But you know what? There is no way I was going to drop this bill and say, you know what? I'm giving up on an opportunity to keep these e-cigarettes out of the hands of children. How could I do that? How could I do that? So I think that the law is clear. I think the statements are clear on this bill, and that's what you're voting on today. Whether kids can buy an e-cigarette with their Snicker bar or their soda pop or not in the state of California. I ask for your aye vote.
Dr. Weber, do you have I'm sorry, Dr. Pan, your follow-up.
Well, I appreciate your answer. Unfortunately, I think my reading of the bill is I am concerned about the definition. Now, the problem is now we have a trade-off, and I share with the chair. I know that you in your heart are trying to do the right thing. That there's no question about that. But I think that and I don't think it's just emotional. There is a larger battle here. Folks who are tobacco companies who are selling the e-cigarettes, purchasing e-cigarette companies. And I've been out in my district educating kids about e-cigarettes and how they're trying to market them. I think they would be happy to trade off a ban on vending machines in exchange for evading larger regulation by changing the definition. And I am very concerned about that. I know that it's not your doing but I think that there is a significant concern here. And because of that, it's not that I don't oppose having it banned in vending machines. I would like to see that happen, but I don't want to do that at the price of actually being able to put more comprehensive regulation, because they're not just selling in vending machines, they're selling in a lot of other places to kids, and we need to be sure there's that we don't inhibit more comprehensive approaches, not just at the state, because I know you have a bill here, but there's also federal things that they're going to look at California and say, well, actually, California thinks something different about the role of e-cigarettes related to cigarettes and regulation, and use that as a way to leverage against other types of regulation. So for that reason, I am unfortunately not able to support the bill today.
Thank you, Dr. Pan. I respectfully disagree. If you want to read the analysis in the federal case that establishes the regulation, you can do that. That overrides this concern. The amendment is on a small portion of the code that deals with vending machines, not the overall definition of e-cigarettes in our state law. I'm sorry. I read the law as the law, and that's what's there. I wouldn't have brought the measure forward to you otherwise. I respect your comments.
Dr. Weber?
Yes, Senator Corbett, I really appreciate all the work that you've done, and I know what the issues you stand on. I had some, and fortunately for us in San Diego, we just had a ban on all e-cigarettes in San Diego, and they're treated as regular cigarettes. Any ban that's placed on tobacco is placed on e-cigarettes in San Diego, and I thought that was quite a step forward in our city. Obviously, that I was very proud of and very supportive of, and I have some dismay over the fact that as an assembly we have not taken an equally strong position on it in prior bills that have come forward. I have concerns about this bill too, and I'm kind of torn in many ways, and do want to read the additional material that you have concerning it, because I do want us to have a very strong position. One of the things I've learned coming here is that there's always these thing called unintended consequences that I'm faced with on a regular basis, and I don't want this to be one of those unintended consequences. I see the impact on young people, as you do, on a regular basis, and the marketing of this is amazing to me with regards to them believing that this is not tobacco, that this is not a cigarette, this is something else, and it's growing and it's growing, and I think someone blew some smoke in my face the other day as I walked down the street from some contraption that I don't even know what it was, but it looked like it was some hookah thing, but it wasn't. I don't know, some new stuff that's coming out. So every day there is something new coming, and every day there's another scheme and a scam, And, we know the tobacco industry has deceived us for many, many, many years about the impact of the tobacco on people's lives. We just buried my daughter's father-in-law this past week from lung cancer, from 40-some-odd years of smoking in Kenya, and the impact of smoking on third world countries where the marketing increased as when it decreased here. So, I understand the insidious impact of it. I may stay off this bill. I know it's going to move forward, but I do want to read the other material so I can be supportive of your efforts. Because listening to you now, it may not be as bad as all the stuff I've gotten concerning the bill, but I do want to make sure that we are clear that this is a tobacco product. That it should be treated with great concern on the part of young people and parents and adults in our community, that it's not just some, we have a tendency to believe that because we deal with technology that we can eliminate the harms of the world. We can have wars without killing people, we thought, when we would do all these special kind of wars and see things and then discover people died in the process, because we really are not that sophisticated to only kill one person sitting in a room, but we can wipe out whole cities and think we've done something brilliant because we can deal with technology in a different way. And now we believe we can obviously obfuscate or either eliminate the impact of tobacco by creating something called e-cigarettes, as if they're not cigarettes. And so I'm greatly concerned about this, and so I've been very torn about it, and don't understand all the legal implications of it, and look at my friends who are sitting in your seat, as well as my friends over here with the health industry and the heart and the cancer societies, who are now kind of at odds on this one piece of legislation that probably brings us great angst as to what direction we go. But I don't want to lose an opportunity either to do some regulation of e-cigarettes. So I would love to get the additional information that you have to make sure that we're moving in the right direction.
Okay. Thank you very much, Assemblymember Weber. If you look at the Senate Bill 648, on the second page, starting about line 22, you can read very clearly that this law will not preempt or otherwise prohibit the adoption of a local standard that further restricts access to and reduces the availability of cigarette, electronic cigarette, or tobacco products from vending machines or devices that impose a complete ban on the sale of cigarettes, electronic cigarettes, or tobacco products from vending machines or devices, and a local standard that further restricts or imposes a complete ban on the sale of cigarettes, electronic cigarettes, or tobacco products from vending machines or devices shall control in the event of an inconsistency between this section and a local standard. So I just want to let you know that the law specifically speaks to the fact that local regulations also trump
what's the language of the specific amendment that everyone is greatly concerned about? What is that language?
They're concerned that in the bill, electronic cigarettes are listed as electronic cigarettes. It's cigarettes, electronic cigarettes, or other tobacco products, that those are the items that are restricted from the sale in the vending machines. Previously, the vending machine law did not address e-cigarettes at all. And as you've been following it, and I can tell that you have, because e-cigarettes are a new, technology, a new thing, they are not defined in our law for regulation as cigarettes are. So this bill says that cigarettes, electronic cigarettes, or tobacco products cannot be sold in vending machines. That's the amendment, and the concern is that, from what I've heard from the opponents, is that because e-cigarettes are defined as e-cigarettes, that somehow they're not tobacco products. But there is other law that controls and defines what tobacco products are, and as I told you, the federal law as well regulates e-cigarettes as tobacco products.
So the fact that
so does our state law.
Okay, so the fact that e-cigarettes or tobacco, the terminology makes them not a tobacco product in people's perception. Is that the deal?
This is only in the small section dealing with cigarette vending machines. There are other laws on the books which define e-cigarettes that would control, and that is the discussion I've had with other legal experts and also Ledge Counsel, that this does not change the definition in other parts of the law But it just, it's an amendment to the vending machine law only, and then that's all that's in this bill. This code section dealing with vending machines.
And accepting this amendment made the bill stronger?
It made the bill be able to pass out of the GO committee. It would have been dead otherwise.
So you were forced to take the amendment like most of us are.
I'm sorry?
Never mind.
Well, the discussion should be with the GO committee.
Exactly.
I mean, there was another bill. This bill had other language in it, and there was no support for it. Although it sailed through the Senate.
All right. Any other questions or comments from the members? Would you like to close?
I think we have an opportunity to keep e-cigarettes out of the hands of minors, and I think that it would be a mistake to say that this bill shouldn't move forward, and I think we're losing an opportunity if this bill dies here today. The concern about the definition of e-cigarettes and e-cigarettes being treated as tobacco products, I respect the advocates here, but I don't think their argument would hold up if it was tested in court. And I do believe that thanks to strong federal law, local ordinances, and the state law outside of the vending machine law, does allow us to create and enforce the regulation that we need to protect children from e-cigarettes.
Sure.
I ask for your vote.
Well, we need a motion. And in the absence of a motion, I mean, I can make a courtesy motion. We still need a second. I trust you. I think you made some very good points, and I know that you've worked on this for a long, long time in the legislature. We also have requests for roll call votes on this bill. Would you like a courtesy motion and a?
Yes, I would. And
okay, I will
just
move the
think
bill.
It's very ironic that we are where we are on this bill, where we
I
can
understand.
make a difference.
It's really tough when you
become so confused.
When you get buttress between two sides, and so I will move the bill.
And I'll just say, out of courtesy to both you, Senator, and the difficulty of this, I share a lot of my peers' sentiments, and out of respect for the chair, I will give a second, but my vote should not be taken for granted on the floor. I think we all need to continue to work on this issue.
Thank you, Assemblymember.
Okay, and we've got a number of requests for roll call vote, full roll call.
Gatto?
Aye.
Gatto, aye. Bigelow? Bocanegra? Bocanegra, aye. Bradford? Calderon? Campos? Donnelly? No. Donnelly, no. Eggman? Eggman, aye. Gomez? Holden? Jones? Linder? No. Pan? No. Pan, no. Quirk?
Not voting.
Ridley Thomas? Wagner? Weber?
It always matters.
I wish it was an opportunity we could do something different, like, I don't know, take that piece out. I mean, it is so horrible.
We tried that too.
Oh, it's just.
Okay. Well, look, the bill's on call. It needs 6, and we have other bills to take up today. And I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If it doesn't make it out today, I request reconsideration.
Sure, of course.
Thank you.
And we also have from you. We have Senate Bill 894, which enjoys. Oh, we did 894 when I was gone. All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you.